Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. This is your first video. Hi, I'm Arlathea. So for this one, we have the next season's drawing. Still going with dragon, so this time it's summer. You'll see my sketch here in a second, because there we go. So I made two of them. I wrote down the colors I'd be kind of interested in. So this is a sketch. So kind of fun, a little different, kind of like happy jumping, you know, like how summer is. You're excited, you're free, it's warm, right? Like you're not cooped up, that kind of stuff. So what I was trying to do here with conveying the summer was his frills, I suppose. I was trying to make like almost like you know how sometimes when you have suns, like they have little squigglies poking out, like the sun rays. I was trying to copy that here to kind of give that impression. And then I also did like seashells because you have summer, beach, first thought, your go, right? That's your first thought because it's hot, sunny. You want to go over to the beach, you find seashells. So I was putting those in there. And then I was also trying to make it almost look like it was like water, if you will, on him. I mean, the water's not blue though. Like, you'll see in a bit what colors he is. But I was trying to like convey just that summery time feel with the sun rays, the seashells, and then, you know, the sky, and having the water. Because it's summertime. That's what you want. But his little extra doodads, like on his wings that you can see, I was trying to make them almost look like they were like shell pieces, like the clams that kind of like fan out. You know, the ones in SpongeBob. I was trying to do those, like imitate those, but like broken apart, if you will. Just the little pieces everywhere. So that's what I was wanting to do, which I thought was kind of a cool idea to incorporate more of a beach theme. Just only because it's hot and it's sunny, it's warm. That's what you want to go do is you want to go to the beach. That's where it's nice at. Well, that's where everybody else is, but you know. So that's what I was trying to do. It'll help more when I actually like show colors. When I get to the colors, I'll explain the colors because I was looking up stuff. But yeah, so even his pose, I was trying to like convey like he's jumping around, he's happy, he's excited, kind of stretch the wings, kind of have some fun. So I was also trying to almost make it semi-perspective too, because I didn't want to have him like off to the full side or whatever. I almost want to have like a three-quarter view type of thing. That's what I was trying to do, you know. Um, so that's what that kind of was, which I think overall it actually turned out kind of well, because I was having fun with it. Like even his arms, I was trying to show him like his hands were kind of bigger than what they should be because they're pushed out, like they're closer to us than anything else. His back legs, I was trying to make a little smaller just to show they were kind of pushed more into the background. Even on the wings, like the little arm pieces right there, you can kind of see where I have them coming forward and then like push backwards. So that's what I was trying to do, which I think overall worked. Probably a little more practice, but I was like, just for the heck of it, to have a little bit of fun, that's what I did. And then for the background, I wanted to have like grass with some flowers just to show that it is summer because that's when stuff, you know, grows besides spring. And then have it behind it like a beach and some water. So I just kind of wanted to have like a very obvious transition. It wasn't smooth, like it was like just like a hill of grass and then it goes straight to the beach. So I know that's possible. So that's what I was trying to do. And I tried to put like little seashells in the background. Like they're not detailed at all, but just to have something back there just to kind of show. So I think it actually was kind of fun. Like it actually kind of worked. So here I'm kind of mapping out like hills or whatever. And like where the grass starts and stops kind of thing is what I was trying to do here. But yeah, so you can kind of see what I was doing. But I know I actually kind of liked it. I liked his little pose. I thought it was fun. Just because it kind of conveyed that summery feeling you get with jumping around, you know? That's what I was trying to do. I was messing with his leg because it was bothering me so much because it was like too skinny for what I normally do. So I was trying to like, okay, I'm like, how the hell do I make it thicker to make it work? It just looked bad. I did kind of fix it though to more like to wear more of what I like it. Even his toes were giving me problems, and I'm like, I don't know what to do here. It was kind of a mess. It was also like, well, if his legs push the background, it's not going to be as big as like the rest of them. But, you know. All right, so now for the colors. So I was actually looking up like color palette for summer. So a couple of different options popped up. So the three that I really liked was blue, yellow, and white. So I picked blue because, it's the water, bright blue skies. That's what you think of with summer. I did yellow because of like the sun, like between like setting and rising and just very sunny. And then I picked white for like white sandy beaches. So I'm like, I don't think it'd be a normal color palette for summer, but I'm like, that way, I'm like, it actually kind of makes sense. So for these, I still picked just doing like the three colors just to kind of color it in a little bit, just to give something. So I thought that kind of worked, but the background I put in a little bit more, so I still had it the blue and the white in there, but I also put in pink for flowers and then green for the grass. And I did like purple for the rocks and stuff, just to add a little bit more colors in there. And then like shading wise, I was trying to make it to where it's like his wing was almost folded over him and the sun was kind of poured more at him. But where the sun wasn't gonna hit like everything, so most of it was gonna be in shadow. That's what I was trying to accomplish. So I think it kind of worked. But and then I wanted to put orange in there first. Like I wanted to originally do blue, orange, and white. But then I was like, oh, but the yellow. Because like orange would be like for the sunset, right? Or like sunrise, you got the orange in there. So I was like, well, what am I gonna do? So I stuck with the yellow because I figured that would make more sense for just the yellow sun, for being bright. But then I'm trying to experiment a little more. So I decided to get a paint marker I have and use orange, just to kind of give like a highlight, almost like the sun is hitting it or something. I don't know. It doesn't make sense for what the colors are, but I was like, let me just add a little something extra because I'm trying to expand. I'm trying to do something different. Even when I actually colored him, I did something different with the colored pencil, which you'll see here in a bit. But I just wanted to include that orange in there just to add an extra element. Something of a little more interest is what I was wanting to do. And then like for the water, I was trying to make it like where it's like I guess sea foam or whatever it is, where I got like the white circles across the water. I was trying to copy that some, but still make it look like it's still a part of him. So I was trying to do both. So I still had some of it like put like a really like gray across the whole thing to put it in shadow, but the big splotches I actually colored in darker to give that effect of more like water-like texture. So I think it worked and it didn't at the same time. It looks like it's just a pattern, but that's what I had in my head. And then yeah, he's mostly just blue because blue skies, blue water. That's what you think of. So and then I just had like the yellow next because the next thing is just like the sun, and then white sandy beaches would be the last, like the third color, just to kind of close it out. But still kind of fun. But these are a odd combination you would think for summer, because you think of more of like fiery colors, but you have like a mixture of like cool and warm colors, so it's interesting. But I just kind of picked the three that I think made the most sense for a summer palette. And I think these kind of work. Like if it's explained and you think about it, it does work because it makes sense. So but he's kind of fun. All right, so now for the colored pencils, what I did was I took a poppy red, which is this one, just to kind of fill back in with the orange some. But what I decided to do was for the colors, I took two of like the family color, like say two purples, two greens, two blues, that kind of thing. No, three. No. What? No, two. I already don't remember. No, it was no three. Because I had one for the base, the highlight your base, and then I had one for like a shading. And then I also took one of the opposite colors. So like for blue, I took orange, which is that poppy red, yellow, purple, like a lighter purple though. And the white, I used a blue, like a aquamarine, like an aqua, like aqua. So, and then I also took like a not complementary, innocuous color. It's like blue, I took a green. Um, Green, I took like a yellowy color, I think, or something like that kind of stuff. because I was trying to like fix it with the shading to make it look a little more interesting, so it was just like basic. Because I'm like, again, I'm trying to expand out more. Like I'm trying to do different things. Because I'm like, I kind of want to get a little bit better and like change it and make it a little more interesting. So I figured by adding that highlight color and then just adding in the complementary and the innocuous, it might make it a little more different, interesting. So for a few of the areas, I was still using black. And then when I was using the poppy red with the blue, I realized how dark it got, along with the yellow too. So what I did was I stopped using the black to see how I felt. So there was no black after a while. And I think it still worked because it looks a lot less dark. I mean, it's still kind of dark, but not as much. Like, it doesn't look dirty. And then, like, the colors I use like lighter colors too. But they still, because they mixed together, they still made it kind of dark. So I was like, I guess that kind of worked in my favor. So I think from now on, I'm going to try and not use the black for shadows. Only use the black when I need it for, like, the main colors or whatever. And just try and stick with only using the opposite colors and, like, complementary. Because that kind of gives it, like, an interesting effect. And makes it a little more interesting. So it's not just, like, the same color, like, it's not monochromatic. Because I'm like, I see some people do that. And I think it's actually kind of cool. So I'm like, let me try doing it. And it's just like baby steps. Because I'm like, I'm not doing it all out. I'm fine with just adding in like one or two extras, but I'm like, I'm not doing it all out. I'm like, I refuse. But you can kind of see like it still works. Like the orange made it very dark, but it's not bad. So I think I'm gonna try that from now on, see how I feel, because I think it still works for what I want to do. Like you can still clearly tell they're shadows. They're not like so blended in, but I think it'll also help with the yellow. So the yellow isn't so dark or like dirty looking, because the yellow is really bad whenever I do this. So I think by doing it this way and just not adding the black in, it'll help out a lot. And it might make it a tiny bit brighter. No promises, because it still looks on the darker side, but it might help out a little bit. So that was the intention anyway. So still a little more practice, but I think overall it actually kind of worked. But yeah, so I still put the orange in here. I didn't do it on the back half of the wing because to me that's kind of, the front half, the top half is folded over it. And it's kind of pushed back a little bit so we didn't really get any light, like any of the extra color in there. That highlight orange color. So I think that made sense. Like this whole back half doesn't really have it. A little bit does. But I put that on like before I started like I didn't use the actual like, paint pen. So it's just colored pencil, so it's a little duller, but it still kind of reaches. Because I kind of figure that might make a little more sense for like some areas to get it, like especially if like they're puffed out, then it would hit it a little bit. Because they're not like all scooched in, because dragons are curvy. It's like even on his tummy he'd be curvy because of the rib cage. So that's what I kind of figured. But yes, the water was a little bit of the water looking pattern thingy, the white part, a little bit of a struggle. But I was trying to make it work. But you can kind of see, like you'll see here in a minute when I just do like without the black and stuff. Because I don't use black on the like the wings, the sail part. Because I want to keep it semi like on the lighter side. Like I don't want it super dark. It still looks kind of dark, but not as dark with the black. Because I'm trying to figure out how to make it a little bit lighter so it looks a little more transparent. But yeah, you can kind of see here with me just adding this proppy in. It's dark. So I was like, I don't really need black. So, and I still think it actually kind of works out really nicely. But that's just me. So this was a good little experiment for this. I think overall he turned out really well. And I'm going to continue it in the future, even for comic wise. The comics though will not get the highlight because no, here I don't mind, just to, because it's just, it's just a drawing, fun little drawing. Comics, no. Those are the only exceptions. Coloring pages, yes. But we'll talk about what I'm doing with the coloring pages in the next video. Because I'm doing something a little different with those, which I'm trying to get out. So far, I actually kind of like it. So I'm curious how it's going to look out. But if I like the coloring page the way I did it, then I'll continue on here with my normal drawing. So far, I'm kind of liking it. But even with this, just the simple changes, just adding in like a few different colors, it works. Because it looks like a nice little shading for that yellow with the purple. Right, like it actually helps blend it out. It doesn't look bad, it still looks yellow. It's almost like a gold color now. So I'm like, that actually looks kind of nice. It's on the tiny bit of a brighter side than normal, so I'm like, this still kind of works. But it's not uber bright, like, because I don't do super bright fun colors, right? Like, mine are more like a mid-tone, darker colors, which I'm fine with. That's just what it is. Because it almost gives that semi-realism appeal, which is what I like. Because I don't want it like super realism, because I don't have patience for that. And then I don't want it super cartooning, because I don't like that either. Like, I can't. I gotta add in my shading. I gotta do that. My different colors. So, but I think this was a nice middle ground for me. Because it just gives that, I think it gives it a nice look. Like, it's still kind of fun. All right, and here's the satisfactory part. So this is me drawing his leg. But I also use, oh yeah, I also use like a pink paint pen to kind of add. I was thinking of making like the flowers kind of fly out when he's jumping on him. So I was just trying to do the pink because they're pink flowers. It didn't show up that well, but this is also an experiment. So I was like, I don't want to do too crazy. It doesn't look good. So I mean, it kind of worked, but it doesn't. But I was also like, they could also be little bugs. I don't know. They're just flying up when he hits it. Because I didn't outline them because I just didn't want them to be like super prominent. But I think overall it actually turned out really well. So he's not uber dark, but we're still on that line of where I like to normally have it. So yeah, I'm gonna go forgo the black, and then unless I really need it, like it's supposed to be like super dark area, then I'll use it. But for the most part, I'm just not gonna use it because I think this actually looks a lot better without it. Surprise, surprise! Try something new. I did, and I liked it. So we're just gonna continue with it. So we'll see what I do next time. But yeah, we'll also do it for the comics too. I think it'll help brighten it up a tiny bit. That's what I'm hoping anyway. But we'll see. Because it actually kind of helped here. But I think once I get a little more practice in, it'll work. But it also depends on what colors I choose. I can't go super dark, but we'll see. Because some colors I'm going to have to, because they're darker colors. The lighter ones, I can stick to lighter colors. So we'll see as we go. I'm sorry I blurred here. I didn't realize. My hand's in the way. But you can kind of see what I'm doing. I'm just outlining. Nothing super special. But yeah, fun little time. I think one of my better dragons for sure. Even though I do them all the time, but you know, fun time. Right, but here is the finish. But yeah, you can kind of see where he actually looks better without the black because it looks lighter. Like his body's very dark, but that kind of makes sense. But here's a close up. So yeah, my little clamshell pieces, just trying to imitate clams, but kind of fun. A joy. Yay! But thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. See you in the next one. Bye!